Yeah, you know what the first rule of Fight Club is?
Don't talk about Fight Club.
Yeah, you know what the first rule of watching is? Don't talk about the collection.
Don't talk about the
Especially if your
collection.
wife might see it. I sent them an email and said, hey, and they were sold out. They were gone, like they didn't exist, right? And I said, hey, in your travels, if you ever run across one of these, right, you don't ask, you get it, and we'll figure it out later. Does that make sense? Like if you see it, buy it, and then just send it. We'll just figure the money out later, right? And he calls me back and he emails me and he says, do you want the white one or the black one? And I said, yes.
Hi and hello watch fans and welcome back to Little Treasury in Gambrills, Maryland at the Time Out event 2025. I am joined by CR Gittere, a watch collector extraordinaire and a man whose life is so multifaceted it may be quite difficult to define cleanly, but you're a former motorcycle racer, trophy truck racer, you do all kinds of mods. Tell us about your life.
Yeah, so, I kind of graduated from college, worked a normal job, 9 to 5 kind of thing. Quit that job to become a professional motorcycle racer.
As you do.
Yeah, as you do. You quit a good corporate job and everyone in your family and your current girlfriend thinks you're nuts, right? And so I quit that, started racing. And then when I kind of semi-retired from that, still doing some of it, I started a software company. And so now I run a software company in the power sports business. And I own a manufacturing company in Nevada. And so I kind of bounce back and forth between my two homes and so on. And so I started collecting watches. I don't know. I got the bug about a couple years ago, and started collecting some little things here and there, right? And then found a watch on Chrono 24 that I wanted, right?
Sure.
And it was a Grand Seiko.
Nice.
And it was a Lion's Mane Grand Seiko. It was a special edition because I usually collect something. It has to be an SE, or it has to mean something, or there has to be a specific reason. Like I just don't collect random watches, right? Very rarely. I think I bought one recently that was a random. And I tried to buy it off Chrono 24, and the retailer did not work out real well. And so I got a hold of Steve, and he's like, hey, this is a funny story, because he's like, hey, the retailer is really important on this, and it goes in case something should happen. And I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. It's a Japanese watch. It's not going to break.
Yeah.
Sure enough, first time I wear it, wake up in the morning, it's dead. It breaks.
No way.
So I call Steve. I'm like, Steve, I think my Grand Seiko's broken. And he's like, no, it can't be. I'm like, no. He goes, did you wind it? And I'm like, yeah, Steve, I wound the watch, my friend. It doesn't go around, right? And then I said I need to return it, and he had a label on my desk within an hour.
Wow.
An hour later, I had a label on my desk, and it was out that afternoon. And I was like, oh, it's like that. Oh, okay. And we started to talk, and then I'd raced the Alaman TT in 2009 and 2010. And, I forgot how I found it, but I was kind of fumbling around, and I found that Bremont had made, a Alaman TT watch, 67 of them, which is a significant number for TT racers because there are 67 segments of the course, right?
Okay.
And I was like, hey, I sent him an email and said, hey, and they were sold out. They were gone, like they didn't exist, right? And I said, hey, in your travels, if you ever run across one of these, right, you don't ask, you get it, and we'll figure it out later. Does that make sense? Like if you see it, buy it, and then just send it. We'll just figure the money out later, right? And he calls me back and he emails me and he says, do you want the white one or the black one? And I said, yes.
Yes, right. Whatever, anything.
Yeah, I said, yes. And he emails me back, yes. I'm like, no, Steve, that means both.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so he found me a couple of those to collect, yeah. And apparently they were at a boutique or a retailer in Europe, and they sent them back to the factory, and the factory did so they're here, so I want to meet them and say thank you. And then we kind of went on with our relationship, and I said, I'm kind of looking for a Saturday watch. And he's like, what's a Saturday watch? And I said, well, I got this problem. And I said, the problem is I can't wear a watch when I ride my motorcycle or race my trophy truck because I'm going to break it. So I want a watch that I can ride a motorcycle in and ride my trophy truck, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, okay, sweet. Ask some folks. And then Jupp and Petra from FORTIS said, sure, we'll give it a shot with him. And so I'm trying really, really hard to break the FORTIS that I have. I've yet to be able to accomplish it, but I'm trying really hard.
Yeah.
Really, really, really hard. And so, like, save a firing out of a gun at a wall. But then they're nice enough that you can wear down. If my wife puts on a cocktail dress, we can go down to the strip on a Saturday night, and it doesn't look out of place.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
and I think that's why I've been attracted to kind of that brand, kind of that rough tumble kind of tool. They call it a tool watch, but kind of not really, right?
Yeah, tool watch redefined.
Yeah, it is. And like I said, I've done some things to a Fortis chronograph that anybody that wears a mechanical watch would legit have a heart attack.
Okay.
They'd be like, you cannot ride a motorcycle through
We might
the
talk
desert.
about this on LTJXXX, which is our new podcast that we'll launch later.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
We put it through the mill a bit. I mean, you're wearing a Fortis right now. Tell us about this watch.
Yeah, so I have, this is their titanium watch, right? They just came out, their titanium chronograph. And what I kind of like about it is, you know, I'm a fan of titanium simply because of the weight, right? I'm also a fan of the bracelet, but what I like about it, it has really good micro adjustments in there.
Incredible.
Yeah, and it's a really robust clasp. I don't feel like if I'm racing my trophy truck, it's going to fall off, you know, because it's very, very violent in there, like extremely violent, like 1,000 times more violent than a Formula One car. Like a Formula One car is not violent compared to what we do. Like I've had my hands bruised. I should have broken my wrist multiple times because of the way the wheel snatches out of your hand and the jerk factor. And the jerk factor in motorsports is what happens when a vehicle is going one direction and then jerks the other way. We exceed that number like 7 Gs.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. It's ridiculous. Oh, it's really dumb. It's really dumb what we do. It's really dumb what we do with those trucks. And, you know, and no mechanical watch company was like, sure, you go right ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead and do that. But the band is small enough to wear, but also very robust, which is kind of what I like. And even though the size of it, it wears really small. Because I'm not a big guy. I'm 5'4", 165 pounds. Right? So I'm not like this big football player or this big, huge guy. So I don't have a big wrist. I don't have I'm not built that way. And it wears plenty small for me.
I mean, I'm also not a gargantuan human myself, but I own the Novonaut myself. I have it in steel with the matte bezel. And I mean, it's my most worn watch. I got it last February, I think, and it barely comes off my wrist. It's so versatile.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I have their stainless steel version of this, which has the orange hand.
Yeah, that's the one I've got,
Yeah, the one you got, right? And I will tell you, you know, I've worn the Grand Seikos, I've worn Breguets, I've worn James Cameron Rolexes.
Okay.
Right? So I mean I've got some Breguet Marines and Type 22s, right? So I've got some decent stuff in the collection, you know. And
first rule about watch collecting.
Yeah, don't talk about watch collecting, right? I've only told you some of it, not all of it. She doesn't know. First rule about watch collecting, don't talk about your watch collection. That's all of it.
There's nothing else.
There's nothing else. You don't talk about that because then your wife finds out what you've got hidden in the safe. Right?
Which safe? The first safe or the second safe?
Exactly my point, right? Yeah, right. The one at the safe she doesn't know about, right? The one under the house. And so, but the watch oddly enough, the watch I get the most compliments on is the Fortis.
Interesting.
Yeah, the stainless steel Fortis with the orange hand, and the way that orange hand kind of pops out of the case, you know, and kind of pops like that. I've gotten more compliments on that watch than freaking a Rolex or anything else. And so it's interesting. I feel like they did a really, really, really good job with the colors on that, with the matte gray, and comparing it to the orange hands and stuff. Oh, it's stunning.
The contrast is superb. And I guess
the contrast is superb. Yeah, for sure.
You wouldn't have encountered Fortis in the same way that you did without your relationship with Steve.
Oh yeah, no. He actually made a phone call. He actually called like. I won't tell you who they are, right? But like he called several other mechanical watch companies that were like, hey, do you want to try this guy? And they were all like, yeah, no, we're not doing that.
And then you get to watch it. Actually, I mean, the movement in that is derived from the one tested in space, of course. So they've put it through its paces, and then here on Earth as well. That's relevant.
And when you look at what the movement is and the way they've built it, it's incredibly robust. It's completely different than the rest of the stuff. And their new Work 7 coming out is even going to be more robust. But then Jupp and Petra came out to Vegas and rode the trophy truck, right?
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Okay.
They've been out to Vegas. I took them for a ride, right? And I got to know them a little bit. And the differentiating factor, I feel like, for Fortis versus some of the others, right, is it is a family-run company, is a family-run business. It is Jupp and Petra, right, running the business, the way watches used to be, right? And it's not that way anymore. A lot of them are stock market brands that's owned by Swatch, owned by this big conglomerate, whatever that is. And it's not that, and they're real motorsports people. I mean, Jupp rode his motorcycle from Germany to watch the Alaman TT, the same race I competed in. Petra has ridden motorcycles and done track days. So, when you look at that, right, I say this in most some way, they're kind of my type of people, right? Motorsports people.
Yeah.
Right?
It's legit.
And legit motor. So when they say we're not scared for you to go beat it up, they're not scared of that. Right.
Amazing. And you found these people like on the other side of the world, basically, that have these kindred interests to you and make watches that can survive the lifestyle that not many people have, but you certainly put it through its paces.
Yeah, but I think that there's more people out there that have that type of lifestyle that want a mechanical watch, but don't necessarily know what to buy.
Well, there you go.
How to handle it.
Buy FORTIS.
Yeah, buy FORTIS. And
come to Little Treasury and buy it from
FORTIS.
here.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you don't have to. You can call Steve. He'll ship it to you. And so, yeah, for sure. And people keep running around with computers on their wrist. They call it a watch. That's not a watch. That's a computer. Okay? And I think watch guys are enamored by how do you get a couple hundred parts in a package this small, right?
Yeah.
So like when I look at watches, I'm like, it has to have either some history with the brand or a special edition or do something for me that another brand or another watch cannot do, right? And that's why the FORTIS was important to me, and that's why I was attracted, because no other brand was like, yeah, sure, go ahead and ride your trophy truck, go ahead and ride your dirt bike. Okay, sure. I'm gonna break that. Like, and so that I feel like that's what attracted me to that, attracted me to the brand.
There you go, and that's what it's all about, having these communities and these relationships that can lead us to new things that suit us more than anything else. So there you have it. We're going to wrap up now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you so much for your time. Thanks for sharing your experience in the FORTIS, and great choice. The titanium with the gold hands is superb. If you want to see it in person, you know where to come. We'll be back soon with more content from Time Out. Cheers.